What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one, that we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart everything with love. What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one, that we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the spirit that it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be.
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Peter Ezugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Good morning. Welcome to Sofa Sundays.
Welcome. So,
it was
my fault. I was hitting her microphone with my microphone.
Starts already.
And she was getting all upset with me, so I apologize.
It starts already.
Welcome to the Sofa Sundays.
If you haven't realized already, I'm Reverend Dr. Michelle Ezugwu, and this is my amazing husband, Peter Ezugwu, who is also the founder of Association for Men.
Yes.
And
Tell us, girl.
so I was excited to have you on here, like I always am excited. But today it's pretty fun because we're launching his new association this week. I mean, is he amazing or what?
Right. I mean, if that's what makes me amazing, I'll take it.
You just take care of me. Make
Yes,
sure
I do.
I'm showing up as my best self. Yes, so I'm excited to hear what he says because as divinely guided as Sofa Sundays always is, it's always very funny to me to look and see, oh, what's the topic this week? Oh, look at here, honey. The topic is Spirit Leads, and I decide in harmony with good. And what's interesting is my husband's webinar has a framework called the 4 decisions that change everything.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting that I decide in harmony with my good.
Right.
It's ironic, isn't it?
It is. Great segue. I think it's it aligns with this idea of the kids are throwing around this statement or this kind of phrasing embodiment of free will. As human beings, how we're fortunate enough in this country to have free will, not our kids, but kids in general. Just they talk about free will. It's on the internet, talking about free will all the time. It's this idea of making decisions for yourself, intentional change, intentional energy towards something that you want to improve in. You want to be a better version of yourself. You want to be great. You want to be intentional. You want to be unique. And so often what happens with life is that life happens, but if you have this framework, we call it the BEST, boundaries, expectations, standards, and tools. And with those boundaries and expectations, standards, and tools, you're able to have a framework that allows you to be your best self. So it's easy to sit there and say, yeah, I want to be this, that, the other, but free will can take us also towards diversions, right? And it can take us doing things or distractions towards things we're not supposed to be doing. And so being able to self-manage, I think there needs to be some spiritual groundwork done, but having a framework, an operating system, as it were, to be able to function through is what allows those that are successful to be the most successful because they are following something. They have boundaries which don't change, expectations which are clear, standards which we don't compromise ever, and tools. And in some way, that's us being godly through ourselves, right? Intentionally being and empowering our spirit of God because we are gods ourselves, and being able to manage our own lives as making it the priority. Because if we're not good, everything else isn't good.
Correct. I love that. Thank you, honey. Thanks for sharing that.
You did the plug, so I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. But I just think it was interesting when I looked at the topic today, thinking, oh, isn't this, how usual. Of course it would be this topic with him on the sofa today. So we're going to start, we're going to get us prayed in. Actually, I want to say that we are here at the home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's practice and her classes and all things amazing. So if you are en route, we're excited to have you. You're never late here on the sofa because we do kind of chit chat for the first couple of minutes, but you're still never late. You're not going to, whatever is yours to experience is yours to experience. So never worry about running late. Just get here. We'd love to see you. We're at 7220 North 16th Street, Building 1A, and you'll see our logo on the door, which looks like this if you haven't seen it before. And so we're excited for you to be here, and if not, we're just happy that you're watching it online, either right this moment or in the future with the recording. And we always live restream it on Monday nights through the New Thought Media Network, so we appreciate their support as well. So let's get us prayed in, and we'll get started. Would you bring that chime, please? He's learning something new today. Oh, let's breathe that in. And as you release your breath, notice this present moment. Notice your feet on the floor, the feel of the seat that you're in, where your hands are placed. Notice your eyes closing or closed. And take another grounding breath into this moment. As we do that, we recognize one energy. We recognize one power, one source, and that is God, Spirit, the divine, whatever you may call it. There is only one, and it is love. It is joy, peace. It is that connection we just feel between each other. Connection is not even the word, but that feeling we have. It is everything. It is in everything. It moves in, as, and through each one of us. We are that love. We are that joy, that peace. We are one. And as I speak from my truth for this morning, I know that the highest and best is held for everyone here present, everyone hearing my voice now and beyond this time. I know that as we allow ourselves to be open, to listen, to have open hearts, we hear Spirit. We allow Spirit to lead us. We use our ability to choose, to decide for ourselves the next right move from that leading. We are moving every day toward what we already are, but to feel it more, to share it more, to grow it more, to be it more, to embody it more. That love, which we each embody. And I'm grateful to be here this morning. I'm grateful for this time together. I'm grateful for all the ideas and the sharing, the laughter, and the connection that we have. And so I let it go, know and trust that it's already been done in the mind of God. And together we say, and so it is. And Lyric, if you would be so kind as to turn this fan on for us. It is very muggy. Oh, thank you, love. Our sweet Lyric, I think Peter is just wanting her to chill and relax because she had, you lower that down just one.
Oh yeah.
It's noisy. Because she had a grand divine experience last night. Our very own in-house sound tech, stage crew, setup person had her very first catwalk last night at Phoenix Swim. Bless you, at Phoenix Swim Week. She actually walked for 2 designers, and most people only walk for 1. She was actually selected to walk for 2 different designers, so it was just such a blessing for me to get to witness her in her dream, something she's been dreaming about for years. And they actually designed the second outfit. That designer designed that outfit just for her, designed it for her coloring, like she,
Yellow.
yeah, she created that just for Lyric.
I
So
didn't know that.
yeah, so it was just such an amazing experience, and so we probably just need to let her chill a little bit this morning, right, Lyric? And she's like, stop it. But anyway, we're very excited for that. So these are some things that happen, you know, when Spirit leads and we decide in harmony with good, which is our topic today. Spirit leads and we decide in harmony with good when we allow Spirit to lead. So Lyric's example, she's had this calling, this feeling for a long time, for a number of years, at least. How many years would you say now, Lyric? About 3-ish years. Yeah. So yeah. So for a long, that's when you're young like that. That seems like an eternity. 3 years, like waiting. Like, and she'd say to me all the time, "Mom, when are we doing the modeling stuff? Mom, have you looked at any classes, Mom?" And I'm like, I would look, but it was like I can't find anything. Like there's nothing that, you know, I don't know. I don't know where to send her. What would be a safe place? Right. And I will tell you that for me, I had a leading from Spirit. So this is how we are all part of the same tapestry. If this story doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. We are all in the same puzzle. We affect each other. We are aligned with each other. And Lyric was ready, but the other components just weren't there yet. So I had a divine leading to meet with a woman who owns a nonprofit. I remember that we got that connected through a friend of mine. She connected us. And then there was going to be well, let's get together for coffee. And there was a part of me that was like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. Well, this was after the event. We went to an event, and I actually met this woman, lovely woman. I loved what they have going on. And then my friend who had invited us tried to continue the relationship and set us up on a 3-way chat. Like, you two need to get together. You guys can, you know, whatever. And I remember thinking to myself, my first thought was like, oh, I don't have time to do it. Like, I don't have time for this. But then there was this part of me, plus this woman's response was so wonderful. There was a part of me that thought, what's the harm of it? Just go have coffee. You don't have to do anything. Just go have coffee with somebody. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be fine. So I have coffee with this woman, and as we're talking, I can feel my spirit. I can feel Spirit in me thinking like, you've got to help her. And I remember thinking, I thought this was just coffee. Stop, you know, like you set me up. I'm set up now, you know, because I can feel that there's some things I could probably help them with from my business consulting business. And so I made that offer to her, knowing that I could tell already that she didn't have it in the budget. She hadn't met with me to do that. So I said, you know what? I don't know what your budget looks like, but if it's not in your budget, I still want to help you. And she said, oh my gosh, well, I don't have that in my budget, but I would love it. And I said, and that's okay. Someday you will have that budget and you'll still need me, or you'll introduce me to somebody else. And she said, oh, well, actually, I know somebody. It's a friend of mine who actually I just kind of been getting to know her myself. She owns a modeling agency. Isn't that funny? I was like, oh, I see why I'm here now. I see how I've just been set up, right? You know, like, so, and this all kind of came about from Spirit leading me to go to meet with this woman, and then leading me again, and I followed. So this message today says, I decide in harmony with good. We can follow or not follow. Like, there's nothing that I could have gotten that nudging, and I could have been like, no, I'm not doing it. Put my foot down, and she would have never had that conversation with me. She would have never had thought of me to introduce it to her friend who needs some strategic help too. So that connection never would have happened. But because I went with that, I felt that push. She kept talking. I kept feeling that nudging, like, oh my gosh, all right. Because I did that, I received something that I had been looking for, completely unaware. So that's how this alignment can happen. If we follow these nudgings, and sometimes they feel like, oh, you get that feeling, but it's still there. And I would encourage you, like I usually do, it's like, just go. And then this has happened now. Now my daughter got put into one of the premier shows that people don't make the cut for, and she just would put in it. She didn't even have to try. They just put her in. They were like, they saw her. They were like, oh yeah. They had her walk a couple times. Yeah, she's in it. Never walked in her life. She had a week of training. They put her with the coach, had a week of training, and then she walked. And everybody was like, oh my gosh. Her coach even put it on her Instagram feed. And this was like, what did she say? What was she call it? Coaching, proud coaching moment. So it's like all of that came about from that initial leading. Just go have coffee. What's it gonna hurt? Just go.
So great segue. I lately, congratulations, Larry, for your first modeling walk. I have been talking about lately being your authentic self. I think part of that is being comfortable with yourself, of course. I don't know if your surroundings are always going to validate that. Like, so a lot of people's self-confidence, we always talk about this, comes from context. If your surroundings aren't validating you to be confident, you might not be confident. The only way to be your authentic self is either you don't care, you don't give a hoot, or you just
What other people think.
right, what other people think, or you just feel validated by your surroundings, right? And people are telling you all the time that your authentic self is okay. It's kind of like us, right? She tells me often, she's like, I've never, well, not never, I don't know, never, but it's been hard to be around people and feel comfortable to be yourself, to be silly, to be goofy, to laugh, to whatever it is, right? And I think kind of connected to that is this idea of understanding that I am enough. I'm enough for me. I'm enough for what I give you is enough. What I show you is enough. I don't have to be on show all the time because as an athlete, that was something I had to deal with, and that's what she makes me feel. And so without that kind of lead in, it would have been very difficult to be my authentic self. And then being your authentic self means that I think, believe it or not, I believe you accepted this opportunity based on being your authentic self because you've just been busy. But your authentic self is to be altruistic, kind, present, put yourself in positions where you're able to meet people, network. That's who you are. And so,
oh my gosh, that's a great awareness.
Right.
That's a great awareness for me. I'm writing that.
Right. That divinity is working through you. That's who you are. And I've noticed that since we met, right? It's like if you're able to help and you feel the energy of that person is sincere, you will help, money or not. Right. And this is one of the reasons why we're married, because you're just such a core foundation good human. And that's something I talk about a lot. So saying that means, okay, I'm that person and I move with that energy and that strength, just based on kind of this intrinsic value of who I am. And then more importantly, you now put yourselves in positions where the universe is going to reciprocate by putting the right things in front of you. And I say that to say this. This happened to me when I was running my business. I had a moment of authentic self and I was just kind of moving, vibing and sliding. I was moving in a way that I was getting opportunities to be around people that I didn't necessarily want to say yes to. But I was in the let me say yes phase. And so I said yes to people. And that saying yes to people meant that I got opportunities to sit with them and talk. There was no prerequisite established outcomes that we were looking for from meeting, right? And I remember 5 or 6 of those meetings, just like, hey, let's get together. And out of those meetings, just being your authentic self came opportunities. And if you want to, not everything is always monetary, but one of those opportunities led to a $200,000 contract for my company that I founded. And that was something I wasn't necessarily looking for. It was with some charter schools that I did programs with. And they had about 8 different charter schools. He introduced me to the head of those charter schools. That guy loved me, and it ended up working out. But I wasn't going looking for that. So all that to say, I think sometimes as human beings, we need to be okay with this idea of putting ourselves in positions, because you don't know who someone else might know. You don't know what kind of divine opportunity someone else might bring you based on them feeling certain energy from you. They might hate you, right? They might not like you, or they might really like you. And they're like, okay, this is someone. I really believe this God person or energy works that way, and it works through you. This is why we are image. I think we move in His image, right, or her image, or whatever, however you want to term it. You guys have your terminology. For me, it's the spirit of that energy, that sense of intention that has to be there, when you move. We talk about this a lot. This is our one life. I'm tired of apologizing for being authentic and doing things the way that I choose in this one life. I'm not going to do it anymore. I refuse. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, I should have. No, so as long as I'm moving with good intention, then the things will come. And it's very easy, and I get it why people get depressed and upset and challenged by the things that happen every day. But the opportunity to shift that energy is definitely there for people.
I love that. I love what you said, like 1, 2, 3, 4 things. I love what you said about the busy is not me. And that's true, because I don't catch it as often as I'd like. The busy is my ego keeping me from doing things I'm supposed to be doing. That's how my ego shows up. So a lot of people have egos that make them feel bad about themselves, make them feel like, all kinds of different ways. I mean, I know people whose egos have made them trip and hurt themselves, so they don't go do the thing, like physical ego stuff. My ego just keeps me so busy that I feel like I can't do anymore. I can't do the thing, or, running around. Right. Oh, so busy. Right. And so my ego will do that to where I don't have the time to work on the things I want to really do, that things that light me up and bring me joy. And that's funny, because I did have the nudging to take the coffee date, and I wasn't saying to myself, that's spirit talking to you. Although I know, when I think about it now, I know that's what that was, because I know how spirit feels in me, because I've worked on knowing that. But I remember the moment where I got that text thinking, oh, like it was just, okay, oh, and then, that kind of feeling. But I went with the nudging anyway, thinking it's fine, just one coffee date, you'll make Rebecca happy, you'll be nice to this lady, and it's going to be good, and you'll get back to your busyness, right? Like that's what how I eased my ego to calm down about it. And then, same thing as you, no prerequisite. We didn't have anything set up to talk about. We shared about all kinds of things, and then I got the nudging twice about, she said a couple things that would trigger my business consultant mind, going, she needs a plan for that. She doesn't want to just move that way. She needs to move this way, like the little triggers. And I finally said, did Rebecca tell you what I do for a living? Like what I actually do? She goes, no, she had no idea. So I said, okay, well, let me tell you some things. And then that got onto the topic of, let me help you, which led to that awareness about lyric. And as you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, I say to myself, sometimes I'll buy a lottery ticket, because I'll say, how can God give me all that money if I don't ever buy the ticket? How can God set me up with the person I need to know if I won't take the coffee dates? Right? If I won't allow myself to move and flow. Someone wants to meet with me for coffee, what? Sure. How can God, this is why I buy a lottery ticket, how can God give me that money if I never buy the ticket? How can God set me up with the person that I need to meet if I never take the coffee date? If I don't follow the leadings that God's giving me and move and flow, and I can remember what it felt like to move and flow and to go to the coffee date, how that felt. That felt good. It's definitely different than the busy that I have. So that awareness for me is amazing that you said that, honey, when you brought that up. The busy is not me, and not really how I want to move. I want to be in the movement of I can take the coffee dates, take all the coffee dates. I can help you if you got money or not. That is the real me. That is that's me moving in flow with that's spirit leading and spirit using me, moving through me to help others. And it is my truth. And that's a huge awareness for me that I did not expect. Not meaning from you, but I didn't expect that's what was, I didn't realize that that's what was happening there. So that's.
Well, I spent a lot of time doing it.
Yeah, you do. You know me pretty well, don't you? Yes.
I would think that I would, yeah. Just,
interesting.
We do with best buddies, so it's kind of.
Right. And one decision.
Right.
The whole talk that you have about 4 decisions, one decision can change your whole life, can change your whole future, can change everything. And one decision that I made to go have that coffee has now changed something for my daughter that I wasn't figuring out on my own.
Right.
And in one moment of saying yes for her coffee, now she's gotten all this other opportunity, all this stuff just fell into place, and I didn't have to figure it out, which is so nice for me.
Right. So the moral of the story here is if you're moving as your authentic self, obviously feel people's energy, and you can often know what people's ulterior motives are, right? But if you're moving in your authentic self and you're trying to manifest this positivity that we all divinely are divinely inspired to experience, say yes. Stop saying no. Like I remember a lot of men, because of our ego, we sit there and these people who you go watch. I think his name was but there was this person I went to go to a seminar for 2 days years ago, and he was talking about being selective about meetings you have. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not going to be selective about meetings. I'm meeting everybody because I'm trying to start my business, and I have time, And he's like, even if you have time, you should be picking only the people that you think can help you. So, and then I thought about that. I was like, hold on, the people that have the most power are probably getting solicited by everybody and asked for things from everybody. So their level of openness to be helpful might have gone through the war of attrition, might be diminished. And so in my head, I actually had the most opportunity and blessings from people that were just regular folks, weren't high up on the totem pole, because they want to help. And like, I've got a guy. And they're like, I'm gonna connect you with it. And they pull out their phone, they're so excited to connect you because they feel your energy the most. And so, sometimes I think we just as you said, it might just be one person can change your whole business, and that person trusts you. And suddenly your whole life changes. Just one person. And that's what it took with my business. One person validated me, then the whole house of cards fell. Everybody wanted to my services because I did well with that one account. That's when my company grew up. And so having this openness to letting the spirit in, as you guys, the spirit, let it in. Let it lead to you.
We are it.
Right, okay. Thank you. Yeah, let it lead. Let the spirit lead. Because if we don't put ourselves in a position where we're open to that, listen, I know that there's people that are sitting in their basements on the internet and troll people or whatever. They want to be influencers and they're doing, or they want to be influential. They want to have, and they watch for me. They never make that commitment. Forget the internet. Just the internet can be a metaphor for life. Just life in general. We spend our whole lives and we never at least try to try whatever it is. And then if you try and you fail, who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody really cares. My friend Ramon was telling me something that was really profound today at the gym. He said, this is crazy. And you've seen it before, a little Dominican dude, black dude from New York. He speaks the accent. He has a scar on his arm. He had stage 3 cancer, I think, and then he had a kidney transplant. And he was a fitness trainer, great health. Was supposed to die.
He said, not today.
Not today. And he had these people that he noticed that when he was sick, he thought that they would move towards him. They moved away from him. And they were not talking junk behind his back, but like just the energy changed because he now became someone that they thought he was going to die. And then when he survived, they said to him, "I'm so surprised you survived."
Wow.
Right. Like we really thought that it would. And then so in his head, he's like, well, you've been absent from my life. I didn't get a text from you. You didn't show me any love. And it set, and he was telling me today, so we talked to him, that it changed his idea of, his life, like what his life means, and letting the spirit lead him to wherever it is he's going, letting his spirit lead him to wherever he's going. Of course, the near-death experience did that, but it's this idea of being able to sit here and say, you know what? I am going to do things that I never thought I would do. I'm going to take the risk. As long as you don't bankrupt yourself or whatever it is. It's more so just an intention.
Don't get crazy.
Yeah, don't get too crazy. It's more so just an intention, an opportunity through your behavior, through the things that you step forward and say, no, I'm going to give that a try. And that's kind of been where I've been living lately, literally living in that space lately for the last what, 3-4 weeks. For the first time in my life. Get that. First time in my life, I feel like I'm letting the Spirit lead. Right? I am, aren't I? I mean, tell me if I'm not. I'm full of you know what. But I'm pushing my authentic self. Like I'm not, you know, and often it gets no response. Or people, a lot of it's through Instagram, or people will say negative comments. And I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. This is who I am. You don't like it, then go away.
There's plenty of other influencers you can follow.
Right, and you would think that based on my past, and this is one thing that happens a lot to me, is that people will think because of my stature and my experience that I have it all figured out and my confidence is through the roof. So, people say that to me in the gym all the time. You're so approachable. I thought you were going to be arrogant, or whatever. And I'm like, I get it, because that's what they. Why would I? I tell people, we've had this conversation before. I did nothing. I mean, I work out, and
I love when you say that.
Right.
The first time you said this to me, I was like, oh.
Right. You want me to be a arrogant, you know what, because of something I had no control over. Meaning, I didn't. Somebody blessed me with 6'8" height, decent looks, right, and the ability to be able to articulate. Thank you. but I just say decent looks, the ability to be able to articulate, a kind heart, like that. That's just the way I was made, right? And then I've had experiences in my life that have hurt me, that have whatever. But then I never thought that I had a kind of birthright to anything. And so, and the people always like, I can't believe that you're not more arrogant, or you're not more of this, that, and the other. And maybe I should have been. Maybe I'd be 10 times more wealthy. But that's not what
He's so funny.
But that's not what we're living.
He wouldn't want to do that.
No, I wouldn't. I would rather live. I don't want to live that. I'd rather be broke and authentic than inauthentic and inauthentic and wealthy. I really would. It would destroy my soul. And so when people say that to me, I'm like, yeah, I get it, bro, but I did nothing I'm like, I didn't manufacture myself. And
you work out really hard.
I do.
But the height is.
Right, the height, even the genetics.
Your genetics,
the ability to be able to get in shape with something. Some people aren't born with that. Like 98% of the world, it has, kind of genetically speaking, that's the circumstances. But again, you have no control over that.
Right.
And so I was kind of the other way around. I was uncomfortable with this idea that I was blessed with this, because I was looking at other people like, don't look at me like I'm anything different from you, because I'm not. And it's horrible. And I hate that we live in a celebrity, because it's a whole other story, but a whole other subject. It might be for a talk show or something. But I hate that we live in a celebrity culture where these kids are like taught to worship these people that are horrible. Can I say that? Some of them are horrible people, and they worship them. Like
because they're tall, or they got game, or whatever, right?
Whatever, yeah, they have money, or they see them in movies. Like, I get it. It's a machine. It generates money. It generates role model. But it's like, I don't. I love the story of the we cry like when we see the story of the regular person that's had to get success out of being good, right? And then there's a lot of that on the internet too, like the humble regular person who gets riches and gets taken care of because they're a good person. They do something that they think nobody's watching. They do something integrous. Like that's amazing to me. Those are the people I want to follow and champion.
Right.
And they're being led by the Spirit. And I think that's where the battle of, I don't know how you can term it, but battle of good and evil is happening. Like, would that be the right terminology?
I don't believe in evil like that.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I said that.
I know what you mean.
So good, and then forces that are trying to make you not be so good. There you go. So yeah. Anyway, that's. I get no more microphone time. Thanks, guys.
True. That's not true.
I appreciate you. That was fun. Just keep going. But yeah, anyway, as you know, I can talk forever. But yeah, it's just interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting. Yeah, this whole.
Any questions?
Do you have a thing?
You've always got good input. So
I know.
That's why
Debbie always has good input.
Waiting for you to jump in and give us some knowledge and wisdom.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's the people that are tall and just strong that people look to be the leaders. And that's not to say you're not a leader, but there are also people that are short and that are good leaders too.
Right.
And unfortunately, society somehow looks at the celebrities and the people that everybody's heard their names
right.
become the ones that they follow. And what I find unfortunate is that there's always going to be trolls and people out there that people are going to follow. I hate being on some social networks because people are so nasty and negative sometimes.
Right.
And I think, what happened to you that you have to you can make something negative thing about the most innocuous thing, a fuzzy puppy.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
it's like, what the heck? What do you do? Is your life so bad that you have to make nasty comments about things?
Mm.
So, I don't necessarily believe in evil either, but I think there's a lot of bad people that people follow just because they do. I don't understand it. I try not to even listen to that stuff. And that's what gets the news, unfortunately. It is, unfortunately. And I love to listen to the good stuff better. It's kind of heartwarming and you want to cry over it. And that's my favorite thing, is to listen to the good instead of that
social media
nasty stuff that you hear on social media.
So, on that note, just real,
Thank you, Abby.
thank you, Abby.
I'm so
Sorry. On that note, blocking people, and figuratively and literally, right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So this lady was saying on and I love it because it's a metaphor for life. But it was on social media sense, the algorithm, which if we look at the algorithm as kind of spiritual energy, inertia, kind of this swirl of clouds of just waves of motion and energy taking towards something. And the algorithm says, okay, well, you've got a lot of people following your stuff that don't like you. And they don't comment, but they're watching everything. So those people and their archetype are training the algorithm to take you to a certain place. Ooh, and so, right. And so in life, we should, and you know what she says to do to those people? Because you'll see them, block them. Block them. Get them out. Block them. Because they are trying to bring you down. And so, on the flip side, in real life, we shouldn't associate with people like that. You can feel it. They're not offering anything. They're not even offering their time. You can feel their energy, though. They'll be around and hover around. Block them. And this is the free will part, right? Taking yourself to a place where you're destined to be if you embody and activate and empower the energy that you want. You always talk about it like that, right? Be like the energy, anyway, it's a saying you always say that, like, be the change you want to see.
Be what you want to see.
Yeah, be what you want.
Kindness. If you want the world to be kind, and you go be kind.
Right. Very good. I love it. So if you want the world to be kind, you want the world to be altruistic, you want the world to give, then be that.
Yeah.
Be the energy you want to see. So that's cool. I like that.
And it's important to understand, thanks for that segment, because it's important to understand what that is doing. If I'm the creator of my world, my experience, right, I have to be kind to create that kindness. So it's not going to come from out here, it comes from in here. What you're experiencing is coming from within you. So if somebody's mean to you and you don't like people who are mean, you don't respond to them in anger. You don't respond to them and be mean right back. Well, I'll show them I can be just as mean as they can. Well, then great. You're just making more of the very thing that you didn't like. You didn't like that. But if you turn around, and I know it's hard because they can be really mean, if you can turn around and be kind, that's the only chance that person probably has of changing their tune. If you turn around and you're mean, then they will be like, rightly so, and they'll keep going, they'll double down, and they'll keep taking that course. They got some attention, they felt like they mattered, even though it was negative. You see this in children. When you're raising a child, I had this issue with my now 19-year-old. When the twins came along, I didn't realize it until, I've told the story before, I wrote a whole book based on it, called The Set and Reset, but I didn't realize that he was acting out for a period of time, for years. The twins came home when he was 3.5 years old. They were NICU babies, so they were premature and they were healthy, but they were little. And we were in the NICU with them for 6 weeks, and then we came home with them, and then we had to, then there's now suddenly 2 more people in the house that need constant care. And here's this little 3.5-year-old boy that used to be the center of everyone's world, and now he's sharing. Now, he was sweet. He was never mean. He loved his siblings. He was very excited about them. He was never a jerk about it, so it was very unrecognizable. But he started misbehaving in his classroom, when he went to kindergarten, 1st grade, 3rd grade, second grade, he was starting to have all these little behaviors. And he was getting a little bit of reputation around some of these behaviors too at his school, and he was, it can be difficult. And it wasn't until he was about 11 years old that we were fighting all the time. Constant arguments, because he was very, very difficult. And I decided I don't want to be the kind of mother that is provoking me to be. I don't like that energy. I was going through my practitioner stuff. I was learning a lot about myself spiritually and how that all works. And I realized that this thing that's happening, I don't like it, but I'm continuing it to happen. So I need to stop it. How do I do that? Well, when that's going on, when I'm with Trey, I want to be a calm and loving mother. I call that a set point. So I set that point for myself. When I'm with Trey, I'm a calm and loving mother. And I was like, okay, I'm with Trey, I'm a calm and loving mother. I would say it to myself all the time. And then the next issue we had erupted, and I went right down the rabbit hole with him like I always do. We had a huge argument. And all of a sudden my head was like, whoa, you remember when you're with Trey, you're going to be a calm and loving mother. What are you doing? And I was like, and I remember the moment that was happening in my head. It felt like it was a long moment, but it was really a second in time because we were in the middle of the argument and my head said that and we're still arguing. And all of a sudden I said to myself, oh yeah, really? If I was such a calm and loving mother, what would I do then? And that spirit inside me said, I would hug him. And I swear, it was like time stood still because Trey had no idea that I was having this little conversation in my own head. It happened so fast. But I had all that conversation. It said I would hug him. I'm like, no way. I am not hugging a disrespectful child. That's going to tell him he can just keep on doing that, right? But I am smart enough to know that no, that was from spirit, and if it's gonna work, I gotta do it fast, or else my ego is gonna kick in and tell me all the reasons why I can't do it. So I lunged as fast. I just lunged to grab him. I don't know if he thought I was gonna hit him or what. I never hit him, but he kind of did this, and I just yanked him, and I pulled him, and I hugged him, and he was sat. His head was about right here, and he kind of was like this. And then I hugged him really tight, and he sank in my arms and started crying. And this still makes me want to cry, that I looked at him and I said, hey, I don't want to do this with you anymore. I don't want us to be like this. And he goes, I don't either. He said, I don't either, but I really wanted whatever we were arguing about. And what I probably, of course, right? And I said, that's okay, but we need to learn to talk about it. We have to figure out how to talk about it. We can't do this. And I said, I love you, we can't do this. He said, okay. So I tell that whole story because I thought, oh, I conquered that. Look at me, I got the answer, I hugged him, I conquered that. I was feeling really good about myself, I'm doing the dishes, and next thing you know, this arm's wrapped around me. I turn around, it's Trey, he's hugging me. And I hugged him back, like, oh, isn't that so nice? I hugged him back. Walks away, I was later on making dinner, and I'm doing something, and he comes up and he hugs me again. And my head went, oh my gosh, oh my God, when's the last time I hugged this kid? When's the last time I hugged this child? And I started trying to remember. And I couldn't remember the last time I had actually physically hugged him. And it's the worst feeling to suddenly get that in your face, that I have not been giving him any attention other than the times where he's acting like a jerk or we have an argument. So he'll take whatever he can get, right? He'll take anything. So he started getting worse and worse because he learned that's how she'll look at me. I can get her to turn to me and give me attention. He'll take it even though it's ugly. And it's awful.
You tell that story to a lot of parents.
Yeah.
No, for real.
No, I have. I've taught on this topic.
We let our egos win.
Right.
So I wish I'd heard this, 20 years ago when I was, dealing with kids. And so,
right.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They do.
The ego, you just sit there and you're like, oh, well, it's always all about me. I just swallow my ego every day too.
Right. Young people are wise and inexperienced, and they will use whatever tools they can use to get their needs met. And they don't know what that is. And there's a lot of adults who will revert to that inner child to get what they need. And we all just need simply to feel like we matter and that we're connected and that we are loved. That's it. That's it. So if we're not feeling that way, we act all these other crazy ways, right? And so when people are being negative, to me, there are two things you can do. Number one, if you can't be kind back, if you can't be your true nature back, block them. Because it'd be better to block them than allow that energy to grow, than to be dousing, gasoline on the fire and continuing that with them. But if you can allow yourself to come from the truth of who and whose you are, and let that love come out and recognize that hurt people hurt people. People that don't feel connected and don't feel like they matter, which is awful. How many people come after him in his social media? I say, who is that person to you, honey? What is that? You see these social media people who will go back and find the person's profile who made an awful comment, and then they'll take that picture and put it on there and do a whole reel about like, oh, this is the guy, this guy right here. And I'm like, so this might be funny or you're getting back at them, but you're adding to the same energy that person was doing.
Well, that's not making death threats.
Death threats are different.
Yeah.
We don't.
Like profound racism.
Right. But what these people just don't feel like they're not connected. They don't feel like even though they are not feeling that connection. They're not moving in the right way. Negativity does it take you toward fear or love? Which direction are you headed when you're making those choices to react? If I decide I'm going to react to you negatively, I'm moving toward the same fear. If I decide I'm going to react to you in a loving, kind way, I'm moving toward love. And I might even move that other person toward love too.
Yeah, I did it. That's all. Good point. I did it for a couple of days, and then I moved back towards. No, I just moved back towards.
It's not that easy.
Right, I just moved back towards banter, but with softer banter. But for a minute, people were saying some horrible things,
right.
Like they were talking about the lady that was cast as Lupita Nyong'o, that was cast as Eleanor Troy in the Odyssey. The social media saying people were saying, like a lot of people came through saying she was ugly, and that she shouldn't have been cast. The black woman should have been cast. And so I did a post about that, and I got all these hate. And my response was like, I just kind of, on that one, I just kind of would challenge the premise, whatever. But before that, I had been saying nice things to people, like, I hope you have the day you deserve, or like, which is kind of slight ahead, or just have a nice day. And I wasn't feeding into it, and I think it pissed them off. And a couple of people, though, would turn around, and be like, you know what, they were like shocked. They were like, well, you too, I get, I guess. Like, I guess we're not going to argue about it. Like, they literally said, you too, I guess. Have a nice day, you too, I guess. But they just said something really scathing and rude, you must not be this type of person that does this and this, like talking to me. And just be nice back. It's like, what is it? And she told me that, by the way, because I'm an athlete. You know what that means. I'm an athlete. So as athletes, we're very, very, very vengeful, very petty, very vindictive, because that's where we get our fuel to perform. Look at, Michael Jordan doesn't do it, but like a lot of retired athletes are still having debates on how good they were when they played. They have a podcast talking about how good their era was.
That's because Michael Jordan doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, Michael Jordan doesn't have to.
There's no debating
They do it for him. And there's no debate to me. Like
LeBron,
Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. But that's not my point. Yeah, but my point is like we could with free will. There has to be a moment where we're just okay with outcomes. Well, I don't have to care what that person thinks. A lot of stuff I just leave on my profile for everybody to see, and other people will now respond and have my back. Like, you don't even know him. People will literally take 3-second snippets from videos, not mine, but in general, people, and make that person seems like they're really kind because they usually seem up in the dark. Well, yeah, in that moment, yes, but you don't know that, or that person seems like they're horrible because they have a moment of weakness where they're saying something to somebody that they shouldn't say, and they on camera, on video, then people want to ruin their lives.
Out of context.
Right, out of context. And then my wife's like, well, we don't know what that person, we talk about this. This is kind of the emotional intelligence that I lack as a former athlete. I really do lack it. And she sits there and says, well, we don't know what that person's going through. Give them some grace, you know?
And give yourself grace.
And give yourself grace. Yeah, you were talking about that. Give myself grace. Don't give myself anyway. It's nothing.
You're doing it better now, though. Right. So I don't know. So many. This, as sometimes these, we will put these. We created this book over a year ago, and sometimes we get to these affirmations for the week, and I go, "What were we thinking on this one?" You know, when we put this one in. So when it says Spirit leads, and I decide in harmony with good, I had to think about it. I was like, okay, well, Spirit will lead on this one then. Guidance of where we're going today. But yeah, it's so important, I think, right? Whatever decisions that you are making, if you could pause long enough to align with Spirit, and then move in the way that makes you feel good, that's going to serve you so much better than this knee-jerk reaction or getting them back or, you know, proving your point or whatever it is, right? It's so important to practice that, but it's a practice. You know, I feel like we say that a lot here on the sofa, but so many of these tools or these ideas are to be practiced every day, and mostly so that you develop that muscle before you actually need it, right? Like practice it in the little things every day, just in the little stuff every day, and find, where is that voice at? What does that voice sound like in me? What is that? Because Spirit isn't loud. When Spirit's nudging you to do something, it's not yelling. It's like this little, I get like a little twinge, or a thought that will like kind of not go away, but it's not a loud thing. And sometimes it's something, it's definitely I could choose to go with it or not.
Right.
So I would, right. So I would really encourage the practice of taking time to feel what that is. What's the highest and best for me today? You know, what's my leading today? Or look back on your day. Where did I follow Spirit's leading today? Where did I make moves toward my good instead of toward the opposite, toward my fear, so to speak, you know? And like he's doing, I'm doing the same thing. I'm working on my own stuff to move toward what I want to be seeing, not toward my fear. I don't want to make moves that my fear is telling me to do. I want to make moves toward what my love is telling me to do, what I'm excited to do, what turns me on, makes me excited, right? What I want to be putting into the world. So that's what I feel like that this is all about, in many different examples and many different ways it can show up, is Spirit leads and I decide in harmony with good. So does anybody have anything else for that today? Feel good, honey?
Yep.
Okay. So let's kind of seal that in a prayer, and then we'll close up today. So if you'll sing that one more time. You're getting good at that now. Look at you. Woo! With that sound, in this moment, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the awareness, for the enlightenment, for the new ideas, the old ideas, kind of dusted off and seeing them in different ways. I'm grateful for divine energy, divine intelligence, wisdom, and how it moves through us, like it did this moment today. Each of us sharing, each of us having something to contribute into this space, helping us to open our minds and our hearts to this leading of Spirit, and then choosing to align with that good. I know that as each one of us takes the time to be with Spirit, to allow Spirit to be heard, it gets easier and easier to move in that alignment. And I'm grateful for our contributions today, and that we've those of us here present said yes to being here. I'm grateful for anyone listening to us now and listening to this later, knowing that it is for the highest and best, for whatever it is that each one of us is desiring to experience in our own worlds. So I let it go. And in gratitude, say, and so it is.
So it is.
Oh, well, thank you for the water, Lyric.
Oh, yes, there is.
Thank you. Well, listen, we appreciate you being on here. If this spoke to you this morning, of course, we had this very handsome guest this morning. So if it spoke to you this morning, what we shared today, we would love for you to become a part of this community. And there's so many ways that you can do that. You can do that simply by subscribing to this YouTube feed. And then, checking in on Sundays to see what we've been up to or watching it on the replay. You can go to Facebook and find us on Sofa Sundays. And then, becoming a member in our Sofa Sundays group. We would love to see you there. We also have an Instagram page, also called Sofa Sundays. We would love it if you are able to help us by sharing your treasure. And that would be a tithing, a donation to us every month, or, to whatever you can do. But if you would like to be a spiritual church club partner, that's just $45 a month for a single member or partner, or $75 for a family or a couple. And when you do that, let's do a mugshot, Love. When you do that, you get one of our mugs, which doesn't coffee taste better out of this
Yes,
mug?
yeah.
Yes, I mean, it's amazing. I don't know what like a magical mug or something.
I would testify on the compliment.
You would? Thank you, love. You also get one of these little, you might have to zoom in, but our little sofa charm.
You've never seen that? I have a Sofa Sundays charm.
I love it. You have yours, Evie? Yeah, she's got it hanging on her keychain, yeah. Oh, I love it. Right, and then you just get to be part of this group. We also give all of our partners our annual books so that you have all of the topics in a place to take notes and keep this with you. Any of our classes or workshops are always free to our partners because they help us to grow this community, and we really appreciate that. Also, you can like and share and invite visitors to check us out. Come in person and hang out with us. We love to see you in person. We're trying to grow this community. So wherever you feel called to help us, we would love that. Thank you so much for being with us today, Lyric. I love how you've been helping us today. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much for being our special guest today,
Yes,
honey. I
having me.
appreciate you running over here
Thank you.
to join us. And Rev Jeannie, we missed you. We love you. And wait a minute, Lyric. And we look forward to seeing you. But I know you're out in Pasadena preaching or teaching out there. And to Miss Ann, we are so happy that you are home. Miss Ann had surgery this week, and so I'm grateful to hear that all the pain's been managed and you're home. And you even commented with a funny comment on one of my posts. So we miss you. Lyric definitely misses you. She's got some stuff she wants to show you about her modeling thing. So I know you're watching, and we just love you. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.